Welcome to Our Esquina. Feel the passion.
Welcome to Our Esquina, our corner of the world where we connect with athletes and artists on a personal level, where we elevate the names of Latinos in sports and entertainment, where we share our culture and tell our stories. I'm your host, Daisy Espinosa. You'll want to stay to hear from history-making Latinos, from the first Mexican-born umpire in Major League Baseball to an emerging star who is breaking the internet with his music. Plus, we'll bring you a soccer club leader and a spectacular college football moment. All of that right here on Our Esquina. Alfonso Marquez. Do you recognize the name? This is a story of a professional who thanks his parents for the sacrifice and for teaching him a nunca rendirse, to never give up. When he was 7 years old living in Zacatecas, Marquez's family decided to immigrate to Southern California. Alfonso had 2 pairs of pants, 3 t-shirts, and a jacket when the coyote woke up his family in the middle of the night at the mercy of the pitch black skies. Little did he know that the treacherous journey would lead him to becoming the first and only Mexican-born umpire in Major League Baseball. Check out this amazing story of Alfonso Marquez.
My dad was a gardener. When he got here, he was a landscaper. His whole time here, he was a landscaper. And he would say, after 2 weeks, you're coming with me and you're gonna work. And I would hate it because, 5 in the morning, hey, let's go. And I'd be out there mowing lawns and doing whatever in the heat of the summer. And he would always say, hey, nothing's ever gonna be given to you. Now, it's okay to dream, it's okay to want. So work for it and go get it. When I was 16, 17, starting to drive, and unfortunately he couldn't afford to buy us a car. But he always said, look, someday, with hard work, you will be able to buy yourself whatever you want. And so I thank him today. And he's unfortunately he couldn't be here, but he's watching from Zacatecas, and I thank him every chance I get. My dream since I was 16, 17 was I just wanted to umpire just in a big league stadium. That was the dream. We drive by Anaheim Stadium and I'd tell my parents, I wanna work there one day. I wanna work there one day. So never did it cross my mind that I would actually be the first and only Mexican-born umpire in the history of baseball. I don't walk out on the field now just for me and mine, for my family, for our children, for my parents, you know what I mean? Now I'm walking out there for a country. I looked up to Angel Hernandez because they're the ones that set the trend for Hispanos, for Latinos. And you know what? Thank God that today there is a kid from the Dominican. There is 2 guys now from Venezuela that are full-time Major League umpires. There's a kid, Nestor Ceja, who actually lives in the area, who is right now, as we speak, working the Arizona Fall League. He was born in Michoacan. I have to think that at some point someone said, you know what, if he did it, then it's possible. Because I came here as an illegal. Rubén Castro knocked on the door one time in LA. He was a reporter. And he said, can I talk to you for a minute? And I said, yeah, sure. I'm thinking he wants to talk about maybe an ejection or something that happened. He goes, you realize you're the only Mexican? And I'm like, no. He goes, oh, you are.
In Houston, the last name Cruz is synonymous with baseball and success. El Boricua Jose Cruz Jr. has been an icon for the Astros since 1975, when shouts of Cruz echoed throughout the Astrodome every time he stepped to the plate or made a great defensive play. His number 25 is one of the 10 retired by the organization. Jose Cruz Jr. followed his father into baseball and is leaving footprints of his own. The former first-round pick of the Seattle Mariners was recently hired as Rice University's head coach. He is excited for the opportunity at his alma mater, looking to give back to the school that gave him so much in the early 90s.
They are very hungry to improve. They're hungry for knowledge. They have bought into everything we are offering them, which has been a surprise in a way, because sometimes you have to earn that trust. But they want to do well so fast and so much that they've bought in to what we're doing offensively, defensively, and pitching. So that's been the part about my team that I've been the most excited about. So the improvements happened this fall. Like, it happened pretty fast with what they were trying to do. They're here, as you would imagine, there's a bunch of smart kids. They, in many ways, are analytical. And that's how I look at it also, very analytical. So angles are important, positioning is important, everything, every detail is important, and they grab onto that. And they have great questions, and they work hard. People always ask me, how is it coaching your son? I was like, what do you mean? I've been coaching him since he was born. So it's no different. I think my son knows exactly what to expect. I mean, I'm the same guy that he's known his entire life. I'm not changing because I'm a coach. I just have a perspective. I have certain demands, that I require for you to play for me, and my son knows it. I think the guys are starting to get it. Again, I'm not a big yeller about it. I'll tell you what I need. I'll tell you what I want. I'll tell you what I expect. And if you can't do it, that's fine. This other guy here, I think he'll want to do it, or he'll bring the effort, and we'll move like that. I mean, it's like, fortunately, we have enough talent to be able to do that, and we're recruiting more and more talent. So it's all about development. I don't think I need to raise my voice or try to motivate you to have energy and want to do better. I think you should have that already. So, I mean, those are the kind of guys we want. And fortunately for me, those are the kind of guys we have right now.
When we return, Cole Garcia tells us how his last name survived 4 generations. And on top of that, we'll check out this amazing story of Seth Smalls on Our Trends. All of this right here on Our Esquina.
You're watching Our Esquina on AT&T Sportsnet Southwest. You're watching Our Esquina.
Rice University's Cole Garcia takes the field with an image of a Marine Vietnam veteran on his forearm. Someone special, his late grandfather. Cole, a 6'4", 320-pound lineman from Dallas, always remembers that his grandfather was the son of Mexican immigrants. He told Cole how he was denied the chance to play high school football growing up because of his Latino background. Cole has taken advantage of his opportunity with brains and brawn. He became the first freshman to start multiple games on the offensive line for the Owls in 14 years and is about to earn his master's degree in accounting.
And I take a ton of pride in it. I think it's really cool. You don't get to see many college football players with the last name Garcia on the back of their jersey. I know for a fact that I'm a lot more fair-skinned. I don't necessarily look like it. I always make the joke with people, what's my last name? And then they go, oh, you are Mexican. But I take a ton of pride in it. I'll show you, I've got my grandfather right here. A really cool story about him is he went through a lot of persecution and things like that. Like he immigrated to Tomball, and he wasn't really allowed to play high school football as a Mexican in Tomball in the 1940s. I got a tattoo of him so that now every Saturday he's playing college football with me. So I think it's really cool to see the transition from generation and generation where my grandfather wasn't even allowed to play, and he told me all the time I never thought I'd have a grandson playing college football, let alone playing high school football. So it's something, it's a chip I carry a little bit on my shoulder. I'm really proud to wear. I think one thing he always taught me was to never take anything for granted. He took some things for granted, and he always told me, like, when you get an opportunity, you go full out, you give everything you can. He taught me that no matter where the society's at, no matter how much we progress, like, somebody's going to see my last name and think twice about me. And then he really just taught me, like, the sky's the limit. He was the one that always told me to go chase my dreams. I meant a lot to him and he meant a lot to me.
Before every football game, Mexico City native Ricardo Small asks his son Seth how he's feeling. Dangerous or peligroso? Seth says, and dangerous he is. In late November, Seth Small, who stands all of 5'11" and weighs about 200 pounds, became the all-time leading scorer in Texas A&M football history. That is history that spans 127 years. In October, Small delivered the winning points in a huge upset victory over number 1 ranked Alabama. The video of his family watching the game-winning kick of the last play went viral. You're going to love this.
So Seth Small will trot out.
You say that I hit it, but it was not just me. It was the defense getting a stop, the offense moving the ball down the field, and then Connor Choate snapping the ball, Nick Constantinu, my holder, and then all the guys blocking on the line. It's not just me. I just get to do a little fraction of it, and I'm thankful that those are the best guys ever. I love those boys.
Latinos are a powerful force, and you know what? The Houston Dynamo wants that force back at BBVA Stadium. We'll hear all about that, and we'll also hear a music miracle right on time for the holidays. You don't want to miss this.
You're watching Our Esquina on AT&T Sportsnet Southwest.
Here at Our Esquina, we like to highlight talent, and Kringe is breaking the internet. In December of last year, Kringe hit 1 million streams on Spotify for his song Crowd Control. He was confident that the song would reach this incredible milestone. At the age of 8, he knew music was in his veins. Although his family didn't approve of his artistic career at first, they've come around and now celebrate his success. The Houston native says life is about more than just music. His purpose is what drives him. His purpose, he says, is to give.
I used to work at a restaurant, Gringos, in Pearland. I was really good. I was a server there. I did a prayer one night, and I was like, God, if I'm supposed to be doing music, please let me know, because my family is struggling right now, and I can pick up more shifts, do less music, and put money towards them and not towards music right now. If I'm not meant to do music, please let me know, because my family is struggling. But if I'm meant to do music, I'll find a way to make it happen. And the very next day, we were closing. My section was cut already. I was ready to go home. And this lady comes in probably 30 minutes before closing. And it was just her and her granddaughter. She walks to my section. They're like, ma'am, this section's closed. Like, you can't do that. And she just sat down and was like, I'm going to eat here. So, of course, I walk out, and I'm upset. I'm like, I'm done for the day. I told y'all to cut my section. Why are y'all sitting me right now? I don't understand this. I was upset. I served them well. I went, did my thing. And when it came time to leave, I was like, hey, ma'am, could I clean these plates off the table for you and get us going? And she was like, no. Which I've never heard. I was like, okay. She was like, no, I'm not leaving until you recite me a song. And I just kind of froze. And I was like, why would I do that? And she's like, because you're an artist. And I was like, give me a moment, please. I walked to the back, and I was like asking the managers, asking the servers. I was like, did y'all talk to this lady? Like, you guys seen her before? No, we've never seen her. So I came back, of course, and I was like, ma'am, well, why do you insist that I'm this artist? And she's like, because you are. And I just asked her, like, have you been here before? She's like, no, I've never been here. Have you heard about me? No, I've never heard about you. Have you seen me before? And she's like, I'm blind. Just thinking back to it is still crazy to me. And so, of course, I just recited this little song that I had wrote. And I'm shaking. I don't understand what's happening. She put her hand on mine, and she's like, hey, you're right. I have no idea who you are. Never heard of you. But God told me to come here today to tell you that you're just not ready yet. Then I got an email that I was opening up for a tour spot for members only, which is at the time, a really big group. And we did a show. It was my first show that I opened up big by myself, and it was like 450 people sold out. And I just crushed it, and that opened up so many doors for me. So that moment on, I just know where I'm supposed to be. I know this is what I'm supposed to be doing. So there's never a doubt in my mind that this is why I'm here. That's why I live that life of a servant. Because I'm like, I know I have this power, and I was given this purpose and gift to do things for people.
Pat Onstad, who helped the Houston Dynamo win 2 titles as a goalkeeper, is now back as the team's new general manager. He says he hopes to build a team that is competitive, a team that will revive the Dynamo's championship DNA, and he knows that he has work to do. And Onstad knows that the Latino community will be an important part of the Dynamo's success, on and off the pitch.
I came here for 2 reasons. One is to become competitive and make this team, kind of bring this team to a point where we're challenging for championships on a yearly basis. That's my sole #1 goal for the club. But secondly, and it's pretty close, is I want to re-engage the community. I want to get to the point where people are proud of our club again, where they feel like they're connected to the players, they're connected to the team's connected to the community. And make us relevant in this market. It's a huge city, but there's also more than enough room for the Dynamo to kind of carve out their place in this city. And I think we had a good thing going in the past, and I think we lost track a little bit. But now I know with the investment from ownership, what they're willing to spend and willing to improve and help us go. There's not a lot of excuses anymore. Now it's time to move forward and make this team, kind of bring this team back to prominence in the city. If you want to bring fans back, because at this stage we know they're there, then we know they're out there. You know, we've averaged, close to 20 before here. So our season ticket numbers are significantly down. So we need to bring them back. We need to re-engage them. And I think the easiest way to do that is to put a product on the field that they can be proud of. And somebody that's challenging for championships, competing for those, and that means a playoff team. If you can't make the playoffs, you don't have a chance to win a championship. So for us, I think that's the most important thing that we can try to get right quickly, but I also think it's twofold. What I remember being here and what I loved was that there was a connection between the fans and the players. We used to sign autographs after. It seems like a simple thing, but every single game we would stay. There's probably a group of a half dozen of the players that would sign for 45 minutes, but it took 45 minutes to get through everybody. And you get that bond with the people that are, get a chance to connect with you, realize that, it's just a human that happens to be good at this sport.
Visit ouresquina.com for an even deeper dive into Latino sports and culture. Our Esquina is devoted to sharing stories from our corner of the sports world. Follow us at Our Esquina on Twitter and Instagram, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more interviews and behind-the-scenes video. Feel the passion at ouresquina.com.
We'll be back shortly with more of Our Esquina.
You're watching Our Esquina on AT&T Sportsnet Southwest.
In this episode, we're reminded of the potential within our corner of the sports world, Our Esquina. Mexican umpire Alfonso Marquez crossed illegally through the San Diego-Tijuana border as a 7-year-old with his sister and mom. Now the 49-year-old from Zacatecas is one of America's pastime's most respected umpires. We introduce you to Rice offensive lineman Cole Garcia, who proudly represents his Mexican family by excelling on the gridiron and the classroom at one of the most prestigious universities in America. Canadian Pat Onstad is back in Houston, serving as general manager to a Dynamo team he led to a pair of MLS Cup titles in 2006 and 2007. He knows how crucial the Latino community will be to the Dynamo's success on the field and in the stands for the organization to return to prominence. Moreover, new Rice baseball coach Jose Cruz Jr. is excited to capitalize on the brainpower and talent at his disposal at one of the best schools in America. Through the wonderful stories, yet again, we're reminded that Latinos can lead and thrive at the highest levels in all sports. That is what we do in Our Esquina. Thanks for watching.
Thank you for tuning in into another episode of Our Esquina, our corner of the world of Latino sports and entertainment. I'm your host, Daisy Espinosa. As we leave, here's another taste of Kringe. See you next time here on Our Esquina.
Next day feeling like I'm prone to the winds, yeah. Prone to the winds. I fight wars and the thoughts that arise. Way too long, over time I comply. Don't see all the pains in his eyes. Stone cold face make the day seem alright. From the outside, maybe fame make it right, yeah. Done now, I am so done now. So close, feeling lost now. What's great, why start now? It's just like too great, so it's brought down. Hold so close, I ain't feeling lonesome. But too tight breaks, now it's back to so numb. Seems like shadows will change. I'm stuck on my own way, struggles again. I'm the worst, I'm the one digging my grave.
You're watching Our Esquina on AT&T Sportsnet Southwest.